dignitaries, esteemed resource persons, faculty participants, and dear colleagues. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the final day of our AICT ATAL Faculty Development Program on strategic implications of energy efficiency, conservation, and sustainability for global competitiveness, organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of PES College of Engineering in collaboration with Department of Civil Engineering. I welcome today's session speaker, Mr. UG Zalte sir, to deliver his talk as a session number 11 on the topic Net Zero by 2070, Preparedness, Challenges, and Financials of Power Utilities in India. Now I request Munde ma'am to take over the charge.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. A very warm welcome to all the participants joining us on sixth day of this faculty development program. This is the concluding day of our FDP. It starts on the 6th of October and today is the 11th October. Today, as we move into our final day, we have truly impactful lineup sessions since from last 5 days, each session bringing a different and complementary perspective on the energy, economy, environment nexus, and the path toward the sustainable tomorrow, followed by online test, feedback, and participants and valedictory program. Moving forward to session number 11 of today's on the topic Net Zero by 2070, Preparedness, Challenges and Impacts on Financial Power Utilities in India. It will be delivered by today's esteemed resource person, Mr. UG Zalte. Mr. UG Zalte is a former Executive Director, Maharashtra State Electricity Transmission Cooperative Limited and former Principal Advisor to MSEB Holding Company Limited. I must say this session takes these discussions a step further from the principles of sustainability to practical targets and national commitments. Expert with deep insights into India's energy and financial sectors, this session will light on India's ambitious net zero 2070 goal, examining how the energy transition impacts utilities, industries, and broader financial ecosystem. Mr. Zalte will also discuss the key challenges in achieving this goal and the level of preparedness required across various sectors. I am sure this session will give us a clear picture of real-world applications of sustainability, not just from the environmental lens, but from an economic and policy perspectives. Let us extend a warm welcome to Mr. UG Zalte for sharing his expertise. Before that, I request Dr. Kakde sir, coordinator of this faculty development program, to introduce Mr. UG Zalte sir. So over to you.
Good afternoon to all participants on the 6th day of this FDP. Today on 11th session. May I audible, sir?
Yes.
Zalte sir, may I audible?
Yes.
Today on 11th session, we have with us respected engineer Uttam Ji Zalte sir. It is my privilege to welcome a leader whose career represents the perfect blend of industry expertise. Engineer Zalte sir have completed ME in Electrical Power Systems. He has former Principal Advisor to MSEB Holding Companies and former Director Operations of Maharashtra State Electricity Transmission Company Limited. He is a senior electrical engineering professional with an experience of 45 years in power sector. He is working as a policy analyst despite rich experience of formulation, implementation, and monitoring of government policies and projects. He started his career in 1980 as a junior engineer in Eastwhile MSCB and retired as a director operations of Maharashtra State Electricity Transmission Company Limited in 2013. As a director operations of Maharashtra State Electricity Transmission Company Limited from 2010 to 2013, he focused on the reduction of outage aims at enhancing the system availability and ensuring quality power supply by adopting the concept of preventive maintenance rather than breakdown and reactive maintenance. As an innovative initiative, he introduced the monkey petroleum concept, which helped to pinpoint the loose contact, broken insulators, weak jumpers, etc. Leading to outage in the transmission system. Use of this concept resulted into enhancement of system availability from 98.62% to 99.72%, which was appreciated by MERC and by awarding an incentives of rupees 38 crore to Maharashtra State Electricity Transmission Company Limited. The use of drone camera being used nowadays in an electrical maintenance is nothing but the improved version of monkey petroleum. He was chairman of a coordination committee of Western Region Power Committee, in which states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Diu, Daman, Dadra, Nagar Haveli, and Goa were members. In year 1994, he introduced the use of thermovision camera in electrical maintenance, which help in preventing maintenance and lead to sustainable substantial reduction in power outage. Now this concept is being used globally. Because of this vast experience of the sector, in the year 2004, he was appointed as a member of various reform committees meant for the recognition of former MSCB. A chief engineer infrastructure company, MSEDCL, he was involved in the preparation the state of infrastructure plan worth rupees 8,910 crore. Besides this, he is expert in regulatory affairs, contract management, project management, Electricity Act 2003, open access, policy analysis, arbitration, life cycle, asset management, profit center operations of distribution and transmission businesses, strategic planning and goal setting, team building and management, etc. During 2020-22, he also rendered his expert services as a principal advisor to Energy Minister Government of Maharashtra, that is chairman of MSCB Holding Company. He played a pivotal role in articulating various policies benefiting the sector and bringing overall improvement in the governance. He also played a pivotal role in preparation of revamped reform-based result-linked distribution sector, that is RDSS, for MSEDCL worth rupees 40,700 crore. Especially his contribution as one of the member of committee constituted to investigate into the cause of partial grid disturbance that occurs in the Mumbai Island on 12th October 2020 was very crucial and admired by the Energy Department. During 2017 to 2019, he rendered his expert services in Nigeria, South Africa as a chief operating officer is one of the power distribution utilities. He was also fortunate to visit CIGRE Paris, Singapore, Germany, Japan, Zurich, and Switzerland to get the international exposure to the latest technologies, new ideas which benefited the organizations at large. He was fortunate to participate in the World Economic Forum, Davos in Switzerland, held in May 2022, the rarest of rare international forum where the country heads from all over world participated to exchange their ideas, views concerning the international community. Currently, he is working a freelance power consultant and a special invitee to Urja Sahyog at an NGO working in the field of power sector. With this, I would like to welcome and invite to Mr. UJ Zante sir for delivering his expert talk. Zante sir, you can start.
Yes, yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. Since last 5 days, 5 years, we're experiencing the impact of the global warming. We are experiencing flash floods, unprecedented droughts, cyclone, landsliding, then cloud busting. And very recently in Maharashtra, it was horrible, and therefore uh, I have chosen this topic as to how to go for the sustainable energy, which is cheaper, which is eco-friendly, and right now the options available for us are nothing but the renewable energy. So slowly, okay. Are the slides visible to you?
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I have articulated the presentation on net zero by 2070 in the form of this. We will have small introduction to the power sector, Indian power sector, of course, how the progress has been taken place in the Indian power sector. What is the power scenario as on 31st August 2025? What is the per capita consumption global wise, of course? Then now we have got, you see the installed capacity in the range of 4,95,000 plus megawatt, in which what is the share of the center, state, and the private players. That is very worth to see the scenario. Then how the power sector is governed in India, of course. And with regard to the net zero 2070, uh, the countries from all over the world, around 195, have signed the Paris Agreement. So, what are the key aspects of this vital agreement? Then, status of the greenhouse gases as on 2019, in order to mitigate the impact of the greenhouse gases or the global warming. What is the preparedness in respect of the renewable power energy that is taken by the central government and the other states? With that, what will be the demand projection, say 2031 to 32, because we have adopted the 5 years plan strategy in everywhere. Then what is the likely capacity will be available in the year 2029 to 30 in order to evacuate such a renewable energy power? We need a huge transmission network across the state. So what is the preparedness for the transmission of the power? And that too with the plan wise, it has been explained well in this. What is the voltage wise growth? Now we have got right now 800 kV plus minus HVDC, and in the AC system we have got 765 kV HV AC. Okay. Then what is the sector wise? Sector wise means what is the contribution of private player, then central contribution, then the state contribution in the transformation capacity building. Then what is the plan made by the central government for the 2031 to 32? Then when we decided to go for the huge renewable energy, of course, the major will be solar and the rest other will be the wind power. So solar will be fully available in the daytime, and in the night hours, that solar will become a big zero. So there will be a huge gap. There will be a huge gap in the demand and supply. So how to compensate that gap? We have got the pumped hydro stations, then battery energy storage system. Okay. Then usage and challenges in building transmission line and substations. Nowadays, everywhere the projects have been mostly stuck up, due to the local challenges and other policy challenges that we are going to discuss in this detailed presentation. Now, when we say that the grid will be having installed capacity around 5 lakh megawatt, isn't it? So it will be having some operation and financial challenges that we are usually also going to discuss in this. What will be the specific challenges? Let us say generation, transmission, and distribution. Then what will be the grid management as to how to mitigate the challenges with respect to the grid. We have got a huge grid. Its power number is around 5,000 megawatt now. And what will be the career opportunities and the way forward? So with this this thing, say in the Indian scenario, the power sector was, you see, prior to 2003 Electricity Act, it was governed by 1910, 1948, and 1998, which are, you see, redundant now. So all these three acts, 1910, 1948, and 1998 acts, have been, you see, consolidated, and new act that has been, you see, notified on the 10th June 2003. Okay. So as of now, this Electricity Act 2003 is governing the entire power scenario in the country. So it has been worldwide recognized that the electricity is a growth engine. So if you don't have electricity, your progress will be stopped. Every activities, okay, in the walk of life is solely dependent on the availability of the electricity. And therefore, the per capita consumption is assumed worldwide as an indicator of the progress of that particular country. So when we got the independence on the 15th August 1947, our total installed capacity, I am talking of the national level, that is total installed capacity was, you see, 1,362 megawatt only installed capacity for the entire India. That is 1362 megawatt, and our per capita consumption was, you see, 16 units. This is per annum. So it means at that time, 1 unit, one person. That was the poor scenario, and this was because there was no access to electricity. No village electrification was usually done at that time. So when we talk about the installed capacity nowadays, so for the last month I have got the data. I have usually compiled the data. On the August 2025, we have got around 5 lakh megawatt of installed capacity. Okay, our demand has been met without any hurdle, without any problem. That is to the tune of 2,50,000 megawatt. That is 250 gigawatt. Besides this, there is a standard capacity also for want of PPA, that is power purchase agreement, for want of, you see, coal, then for want of, you see, other things. So that is around 45,000 megawatt. So electrically, the India is divided into 5 regions. First one is the northern region, then second is the western region, then the third is the southern region, fourth is the eastern region, fifth is the northeast region. So this capacity, you see, I have given the statistics of it. We have achieved the aim of one nation, one grid, and one frequency on 31st December 2013. It means the frequency which is available in the PE society, college, premises, is the same when we go to the remotest place of, let us say, northeast region. Same frequency we are usually enjoying now. So there are usually advantage of, you see, one grid, one nation, and disadvantage also. But advantage are you see more prevalent than disadvantage. So in the 5 lakh megawatt capacity, installed capacity, we have got renewable energy capacity to the tune of 2,42,000 megawatt. So around 50% of the capacity is coming from the renewable energy sources. Okay. And there is absolutely no problem for where you should achieve the 100% village electrification, which comes as the 6 lakh in numbers. So, and our this consumption, per capita consumption from 16 units has been raised to the around 1400 units. Okay. Now, after that, it is worthwhile to see the journey of the Indian power sector in India. The first light was, you see, lit in the year 1879. Okay, that is on 24th July 1879. The Mahatma Phule market, earlier it was called as Crawford market, it was provided electricity in the year 1882. The license to supply the energy was issued obtained in the year 1897 by the Calcutta Electric Supply Corporation from London office, because we were governed by the British this thing. The first hydropower station of capacity 130 kilowatt was issued commissioned in 1897 at the Darjeeling, Sindrapong, Darjeeling. The private players, diesel-based electricity were usually provided in the urban cities only. There was no question of village area, because the infrastructure was not available to that extent. So in order to regulate that private distribution of electricity, private distribution of generation, the Indian Electricity Act 1910 was enacted, and with this act, that sector was governed at that time, and we obtained the Reform Act in the year 2003. It means around 100 years, after lapse of 100 years, we could, resolve our own act considering the new challenges in the power sector. I will introduce the role of the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. He was the minister in the Viceroy Council during the year 1942 to 1946. There, he has laid down the foundation of the power sector in India. More specifically, in the year 1944, when he was minister for water, labor, and industry, there he formed a board that is called the Central Technical Power Board, which is called now Central Electricity Authority. See the vision of the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Okay. After getting the independence, we enacted the Electric Supply Act 1948 in order to undertake the development in a comprehensive way. Okay, 1948. All the states, respective states, were asked to form the electricity board and undertake the development of the rural infrastructure, especially. After that, in the year 1956, it was very obvious to have the rules, safety rules, construction rules, etc. So the 1956 Rule Act was enacted. Now it has been upgraded, and it is called as 2005. So up to 1991, all the 5 regional grids were operated independently. 5, that is northern, western, southern, eastern, and northeast region. They were operated independently. But in the 1991, the northeast region were interconnected with the eastern region. Okay. After that, in the year 2003, western region were interconnected with the northeast and eastern region. Okay. Then northern region where interconnected with the northeast, eastern region, western region grid. That is called the new grid. Okay. New grid means N stands for northern, E for eastern, and W for western. New grid. Okay. But in 2013, as I told you earlier, the SR was connected to this new grid, forming one nation, one grid, and one frequency. Now, how the progress taken place right from the 1947 to 31st August 2025? It is very worthwhile The installed capacity on the day of independence was 1362. Our per capita consumption was 16 units only. In the year 2007, that is after a lapse of say 60 years, from 1,362 unit capacity, we reached to the 1,32,000. Okay. And number of villages were electrified 4,82,000. Our per capita consumption by that time raised to the 672. In the year 2020, we reached to the installed capacity of 3,70,000 megawatt. 100% villages were electrified, and our per capita consumption raised almost to the double. As on 31st August 2025, this installed capacity raised to the 5 lakh, around 5 lakh megawatt. 100% electrification, and slowly there is increase in the per capita consumption also. So this exponential growth, okay, that has been taken place due to the policy liberalization provided in the Electricity Act 2003. It means generation is delicensed, no license is required for the generation. Yes, for transmission and distribution, you need a license to transmit as a transmission licensee and to distribute the energy as a distribution licensee. Okay. So I have prepared one slide for the understanding of the usage of the electricity across the globe. For the United States, it is 11,267 units. For Russia, 6,800. Like that, there are so many countries. But if we rank depending upon the consumption of the electricity, Norway stands first. That is 24,000 units per capita. Then second stands the Kuwait. See, this Norway is the coldest country, coldest area. Okay. So there you can understand the electricity is the major support to provide the livelihood in every walk of life. Whereas Kuwait is the hottest place. So they are operating their AC system on electricity. Their consumption per capita consumption is 15,000 units. And third is the Finland. Fourth is the Canada. If you look at the African countries, Sierra Leone is still mingling around 12 units per, per capita. Chad 17, Somalia 23, and Burundi 30. These are the poorest countries. Whereas our per capita consumption is 1,395. We are not that way good. We are just ahead of the Bangladesh, Pakistan, Philippines, and Cambodia. Now, when we talk that 5 lakh megawatt of capacity is around there in the year 2025, it is worthwhile who has contributed to this sector. Yes, in the year 2003, the state contribution, state means states, all states from the country were having the capacity, installed capacity of 60,000 only. In the year 2005, it has been increased little bit by 9,000 around. Okay. Then in the year 2025, it has been increased by around 36,000 megawatt. That is 1,11,000. Okay. Whereas for the central, it was around 30,000 megawatt. In the year 2005, it was 37,000 megawatt. And in the year 2025, it is at par with the state. However, it is very worth to notice the contribution of the private players in the installed capacity. In the year 2003, it was 11,000. In the year 2005, it was 14,000, just addition of 3,000 megawatt. But with the liberalization policy of this thing, in the year 2025, the contribution of the private player has been increased to the 2,67,000 megawatt. And if we closely compare the chart, state versus private versus central, no capacity addition is coming from the state, no capacity addition is coming from the central. However, in a exponential way, the capacity addition is coming from the private players. Henceforth, also, this generation sector is going to be dominated by the private players only. Yes. Now, we must look at as to how this power sector is governed. So there are, you see, regulatory bodies have been, you see, established, which are, you see, provided in the Electricity Act 2003. Okay. This Electricity Act 2003 set out aims, objectives, defines composition and powers of various regulating bodies and duties thereof. The electricity rules set out the safety standards of electrical installation, let us say testing of the line, testing of the substation, and over and above, the chief electrical inspector is the supreme authority to issue the final permission to charge the electrical installation. So the main role is played by the Ministry of Power, Government of India, as far as the policy framework is concerned. For the renewable energy development, the central government has, you see, formed a separate ministry, which is called the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So it aims at providing the comprehensive policy as to how the renewable energy sector capacity should be increased day by day. Okay. Then there is also CRC, that is Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. Under Section 76, it has been established and it provides the interstate tariff regulations. See, we have got one nation, one grid, isn't it? So the power always flows from the surplus region to the deficit region. Okay. So interconnection is always available there. So in order to determine the interstate tariff, the CRC authority is empowered under Section 76. So, as I told you earlier, that is Central Technical Power Board, which was, you see, established in the year 1944. Now it is called Central Electricity Authority. It it undertakes the activities called EPS, that is Electric Power Survey. Electric Power Survey. It provides the statistics on the demand, of course, sector-wise demand, that is commercial, industrial, residential, agriculture, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Accordingly, they propose the generation where to the capacity should come to meet the power demand, how the transmission network has to be developed, constructed, then also the safety standard. They have given the prime importance while doing all these activities, that safety standard will be the above, top of all. Okay. Now, although these bodies have been established under the Electricity Act, now there should be some appellate authority to dispose of the disputes which are taking place. ACRC, that is MRC versus CRC, CRC versus government, like that. So an independent body at the Delhi has been set up, which is called the Appellate Tribunal, and it deals with the disputes solely regarded, dedicated to the power sector only. So there are also, so in order to establish that the power flow from surplus to deficit region, there has been a central transmission utility which undertakes the development of the interstate transmission network, that is substation, along with the substation, of course. Then state transmission utility, that is STU called. So at Maharashtra, we have got STU, it at the state level only, but in coordination with the central transmission utility and other players, it plans the network. Okay, then NLDC. So this power flow will always taken place from surplus to deficit region. There we have got the apex load dispatch center, which is called the National Load Dispatch Center. Below that, we have got, you see, regional load dispatch centers. And after that, at the state level, we have got state load dispatch center, which manages the grid, then energy accounting, then allows the open access transaction on the short-term basis. Okay. Then the State Electricity Regulatory Commission under Section 82, they are supposed to notify the regulation which will ensure the smooth business of the power sector at the state level, and it will determine the intrastate tariff structure, then standard of performance of the various utilities, especially in Maharashtra. There are private utilities, distribution utilities also. Okay, so they provide the standard of performance, and every utility has to honor those standard of performance. Otherwise, penalty will be levied on the respective utilities. Okay, so in order to ensure the safety across the state, we have got the electrical inspectors. Okay, these electrical inspectors provide the undertake the inspection work, whether the work has been done as per the safety standards declared by the Central Electricity Authority. It also acts as a appellate authority in case of the theft of the energy. Okay. Now coming to our original topic. With this background, I think Paris Agreement. Okay, so basically, it is international treaty, international agreement. Okay, it is binding, legally binding also. Around 196 countries are party to this agreement, which has been signed on 22nd April 2016, and it has been made effective from 4th November 2016. Now, the aim has been provided in the Paris Agreement that we need to bring it down the temperature to the pre-industrial level. Okay, that is distributed contribution, national determined contribution. Every countries are supposed to prepare a roadmap as to how they are going to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions in order to reach the goals of the Paris Agreement. So for that, the power sector is nothing but the main contributor to the GSS emissions, that is CO2 emissions, because at least for the India, we are not blessed that much from the hydropower station or wind power station, but as of now, our install capacity is nothing but the totally dependent on the thermal. Okay, so these are it requires fossil fuel, that is coal is the main fuel item for that. So when we burn the coal, the CO2 emission obviously is going to increase. So we have set up the plan by 2030. Our demand will be 335 gigawatt, that is 335,000 megawatt. And for that, the target has been set as our RE target will be available by 2030 to the tune of 500 gigawatt, that is 5 lakh gigawatt. It is ambitious plan, ambitious goal, but looking at the progress, as of now, we have got to see 2,42,000 RE power, isn't it? So that way, it is obvious that we may match this ambitious target in order to limit the global warming. Okay. So when we say net zero by 2070, its meaning is that all the fossil-based power plants will be made redundant, inoperative, and the total peak demand, which is likely around 670 gigawatt, will be fully met by the RE power. Okay, so for that, the RE install capacity, of course, these are the estimates. So that RE install capacity is likely to be range that is 951 to 1149 gigawatt. That is 9 lakh megawatt to 11 lakh megawatt. Okay. So by that time, it is estimated that our per capita consumption, which is 13,095 units as of now, in the year 2070, it may shoot up to 5,100 to 8,400 units per year by 2070. Ambitious targets, okay. But our efforts are, you see, going seriously in that direction to achieve this goal. Now, it is worthwhile to see the status of the greenhouse gases as on 2019. Okay. So, the per capita greenhouse availability is, as of course, as per 2019 is 7.5, and reduction globally, this is global picture, that is G20. Global picture is 7.5 and reduction is expected by 1.7%. Okay. In India, it is 2.2, and instead of, you see, reducing it, it has been increased by 12%. So with that, this thing, we are standing at the third largest country in the world so far the greenhouse gases are, you see, concerned. So we are committed to achieve, to limit that temperature by 1.5. Okay. So the install capacity is, as I told you earlier. Okay. So to achieve this target, that is to reduce the greenhouse effect, or to reduce the global temperature rise. Okay. They have identified the areas in which we can, you see, do something seriously. That is, first one, of course, is the power sector. Then second one is the transport sector. Third one is the building sector. Then industrial sector. For non-fossil energy usage in land use, in agriculture. So this is the areas where the central government is very optimistic that major work will be done in the power sector, transport sector, building sector, industrial sector. Okay. So from the west, 3% municipal waste is, the contribution is coming from the west. Okay. Then agriculture, 15%. There's the use of the fertilizer and pesticides. These are very harmful to the ecosystem. Okay. Then industry, if they don't take the waste management seriously, as of now, it is contributing 9%. It is releasing harmful gases, effluent, okay, etc. And energy is nothing but the 73% fuel, that is SF6, then CO2, then carbon monoxide, and in addition to that, fly ash is the biggest problem around the thermal power station. Okay. So what is the preparedness to achieve that target? So the target for 2030 has been set up by the 500 gigawatt. By that time, our peak demand will be 335 gigawatt. Power demand in the 2041 to 42, it will be 575 gigawatt. 1 gigawatt stands for 100,000. So that is why it is coming like that. So the RE target by the 2070, it has been estimated that it will range to, from 1951 to 1149 gigawatt, and peak demand will be 670 gigawatt. Okay. So in order to achieve this, all the institutional framework which has been, you see, provided in the Electricity Act, that is Central Electricity Authority, Central Electricity Regulatory Commission, State Electricity Regulatory Commission, APTEL, NLDC, RLDC, SLDC, they will play a major role in framing the desired policy, so that this target will become little bit easy. Okay. So accordingly, the National Electricity Policy and the National Tariff Policy, which is the so very good document notified by the Ministry of Power. They are also, you see, promoting the areas where we can focus. Okay. For that, the generation has been de-licensed. Nowadays, you don't require any license to install your generation plant. Okay. Only thing is that you need technical know-how, you need finance, you need to prepare this thing, and you need to ensure the fuel supply agreement. Okay. If all these things are in place, you can start your generation, and you can sell also to the parties. Those are interested. Then provision of private license in transmission. Yes, in the Electricity Act 2003, since beginning, this provision is there. So nowadays, around 10 private transmission license are working in Maharashtra, and they are doing right now. They are doing best. Then open access. Yes, this was badly needed, because unless until open access is provided, the energy from the surplus region to the deficient region will not take place. So this open access regulation, which is provided in the Electricity Act 2003, which facilitates this transaction. Then the major task of the Central Electricity Authority, it has been, they have set the target, okay, for the 20-30 years, when that solar energy will not be available in the night hours. For that, they have estimated that the battery energy storage system and the pumped hydro stations will come to our rescue. Okay, so they have estimated what will be the requirement of the battery energy storage system and the pumped hydro storage system. It is roughly coming as 41.7 gigawatt for BSS, and for the PHS, it is coming as 19 gigawatt. Huge target. Okay. But the problem is that we have got very less sites for the pumped hydro stations, at least in Maharashtra. We are not blissful that way. Secondly, this battery energy storage system. Lithium is the major this thing, which is not available amply in India. Our sole dependency is there on China. Okay, so hopefully everything will go in a right direction, and this capacity will be ready by 2030 to provide the support, grid support. Okay, for that, the policy framework has been notified by the Ministry of Power in the year 2030. That is called National Electricity Storage System Policy. Okay. Already, the capacity of 96 gigawatt for battery energy storage system is in pipeline. It is expected. On river, this thing is also there, but it will require the huge financial support to create the BSS system and PSS system. For the PSP system, it is 54,000 crore, and for the battery energy storage system, it is 56,647 crores. Now, when we say that by 2030, the 50% of the RE power will be available, that is 500 gigawatt will be available. So what will be the region-wise scenario on the day of 2031 to 32 and for 2041 to 42? So these are the figures given by the that is Central Electricity Authority after prolonged discussion. Okay, for the northern region, the energy requirement in million units will be 7,73,000. In the year 36 to 37, it will be 9,68,000 million units. 41 to 41, 11,80,000, 11,80,000, so on. Okay. So the all India power requirement, that the energy requirement in million units will be 24,73,000. If we convert it into billion, then it will coming as 2473 billion units. 36, 37, 3,095 billion units. 41 to 41, it will be coming as 37,076 billion units. So this will be the energy requirement, and the peak demand by 31, 32 for the all India level, it will be 3,66,393. That means in terms of gigawatt, it will be 366 gigawatt. For the 36 to 37, it will be 465 billion gigawatt. Okay, like that, 41 to 42, our demand is likely to raise to the level of 5,74,689 megawatt. So we have talked about the what will be the installed capacity coming by 29 to 30. Okay, but individually speaking, we will be having this hydro as a source. Of course, very less source is there. That is 53,680 megawatt. Small hydro, petty small hydro, 1 megawatt, 2 megawatt, 3 megawatt, 4 megawatt, and so on. It will be around 5,000 megawatt. PSP, pump storage, that is around 19,000 megawatt. But this support will be very poor for the reason that we have got, you see, very less capacity available in India. It is available in the northeast side, where so many environmental issues are there while undertaking the installation of the pump storage power plants. Okay, solar, yes, we are blessed with. Okay, but it will not be available during the night hours. So there will be huge gap. This wind also, we don't have any control over the wind flow. It is coming, it is expected that it will come to the tune of 1 lakh megawatt. Okay, biomass, then nuclear, then battery energy storage system, gas. Gas is 24,000 megawatt, but its availability is solely dependent on the foreign countries. Thermal, it will be around 1,75,000 megawatt. Okay, and total will be 7,77,000. Okay. So in order to evacuate the power, that is RE power, from the generating plants, we need a strong, robust transmission network, and that should come in a systematic way. That is, whenever demand is there, we should go for the installation of solar energy, installation of wind energy. Unfortunately or fortunately, let us say fortunately, the gestation period of the solar power plants and the wind power plants is very, very less as compared to the building of the transmission network. Because transmission network is, you see, uh, posing, facing huge problems from the local communities, local netas, pudaris, okay, then RAW issues, then material availability, so on, so on. Okay, so the transmission capacity here I have given in the graphic this way. From the sixth plan, we have started the installed capacity of 46,000 megawatt megavolt amp. Then it got acceleration in the year 2002 to 2007. It raised to the 2,57,000 megavolt amp, then MU capacity, and as of now, it is now 13,75,000. Okay. So if we go through the voltage wise, what is the contribution voltage wise? It is worth here for the HVDC, that is 800 kV HVDC, it is around about 1800 MVA. Then 500 kV HVDC, it is 13,500. Then 765 kV, yes, it is playing a major role nowadays. All the interstate transmission network is now being constructed with the 765 kV voltage lines only. And so thereby the substations also. Okay. Here the losses are, you see, when the voltage increases, the current reduces, and vis-a-vis the I square R also gets reduced substantially. 400 kV network, it is around 5 lakh. Okay. And then for the 220 and below, that is 132 kV, it is around 5 lakh MVA. So sector-wise, so what is the contribution of the sector in building the transmission network? What is the contribution of the state sector in building the transmission network? What is the contribution of the private sector in building the transmission network? It is very obvious, and the major share is coming from the central sector, because it has the responsibility to develop the interstate transmission network. Thereby, their share is majoritarily more as compared to the others. But henceforth, the role of the private sector will increase in a big way, because all the generating plants will be coming from the private players. Vis-a-vis their share will also increase to that extent. Okay. Now, as per the Section 73, Central Electricity Authority is the proper authority to plan the network. Okay. So the RE target, as you told you earlier, the RE target for 2030 is 500 gigawatt. Peak demand is 335 gigawatt. Okay. Peak demand by 2041 is 575 gigawatt. Likewise, the first phase, that is 2031 to 32, the plan for substation and building the transmission network is here available. So this is the data is available on the CA website. Okay. Now, this is all okay. This is on paper, but while executing the transmission projects, we are supposed to face seen and unforeseen challenges. Okay, so first one is the right of way constraint, that is value problem. Okay, and second one is the land acquisition. These are the major hurdles. That's why the projects are usually normally getting delayed by 2 to 3 years. Okay, and because of that, the cost of the project gets increased, and the time also gets increased, and of course it leads to the delay in the benefits also. Okay, so now recently they have, you see, introduced the draft for amendment bill, Electricity Act 2003 amendment bill. They have tried to address the issue of the right of way and the land acquisition issues, but it is under the process. Very recently, that is the 9th October, they have issued that draft for the comments from the stakeholders. Okay. Now, I told you earlier that when the solar energy will not be available during the night hours, so what will be the revenue available for us? Okay, so it is expected that the pumped hydro stations will come to our rescue. Okay, and so with the battery energy storage system, so they will bridge the gap in the demand and the supply, so the grid will be more stable. Okay, there are challenges in grid management, but it is expected that if so much of power is available from pumped storage and from the energy storage, that will ease the problem of grid instability. Okay. Then capital cost. Yes, the capital cost is little bit higher in the pumped hydros because of the rehabilitation cost. Okay. Then other eco-friendly issues are there, you see. Okay. Then the lithium battery, yes, it is a costly affair nowadays, at least for India. We are not, you see, rich. So the sole dependence will be on the foreign countries. So the progress of BSS will be solely dependent on the foreign supply. If it is, you see, ensured in a smooth way, so we can expect much, because for BSS, no, the time gestation period is very, very less. Okay. Whereas for pumped hydro storage, it is little bit more. Okay. The lifetime, okay, operating cost of the pumped hydro power station is very low. It requires very least manpower. The operating cost of the battery energy storage system will be a big challenge, because after few years we need to replace the complete set of batteries, and whereas it will add operating cost. The life of the pumped hydro storage can be estimated to the 50 years, even it can go beyond that also. Whereas typically for the battery energy storage system, it will range into 10 to 20 years. There are various factors affecting the life of the battery energy storage system. Then the response time from the pump hydro station, it is ranging in between 10 to 15 seconds from hub to full. It's very good for the grid support. And the support from the battery energy storage system is, you see, in million seconds only, much faster than the pumped hydro stations. Okay. Then the environmental impact, yes, for the hydro, huge challenges, rehabilitation, habitat destruction, etc. Then the public opposition to set up the power stations in that area because of the so many challenges. Okay. For the battery energy storage system, there will be a big problem of the waste management. Okay, so that need to be properly addressed. Then only we can say that this will be the assured power supply for the grid management. As far as the pump hydro station, the uh, capacity available will be for 5 to 6 hours only, whereas the battery energy storage system will be available for the 4 hours only. And our need is for at least 10 hours, isn't it? So efforts are going to increase the capacity of the battery energy storage system. So that is what we can do only at this juncture now. Okay. Now, what are the challenges for operating the grid? Okay, so there are two challenges. One is the operational challenges, and second one is the financial challenges. Okay, so by 2070, it is expected that we will be completely switched to the renewable energy power. But as an expert, I am not agreeing with this statement, because for the base load demand, no, we need some thermal power plants. Okay. Then second thing, the renewable energy power. Okay. For the operational purpose, it is uncertain. It is informed power, not informed power. It is informed power. Its availability, that is, except barring your this thing, solar, it is firmly available for the daytime. But for the wind power, its availability is totally uncertain. So there, the operational issues will be quite severe for the full dependent on the renewable energy. Okay. Then when we say that how the grid is operated nationally, okay, so there are two kinds of methods. One is the voltage control method, and second one is the frequency control. More often, the frequency control is preferred. That is, let us say our power demand is 250,000 megawatt, and power supply is also around 250,000 megawatt. So the power number, this is very funny, very interesting number, which will decide the level of the frequency. So the power number 250 by 50 frequency, it comes at 5,000 when installed capacity and power demand is 250,000. So that means 5,000 is the power number, meaning thereby for every 5,000 addition or reduction of power will impact the frequency by 1. If it is more, frequency will go up by 1 hertz. If it is reduced by 5,000 megawatt, then the frequency will come down to one frequency, that is 49 hertz frequency. Okay, so this way the grid is normally operated. Okay, voltage control, that is the reactive power control, is you see meticulously followed to avoid the voltage dips and tripping of the lines. Okay, then coming to the support of energy storage system and pump storage power plants. Okay, the in both the cases, I am not sure whether they will be adequately available when the system or the grid is badly needed, because the AC is insufficient. It provides support for 4 to 5 hours only, and its availability is also for the shorter time, and its availability over a period of time gets reduced also. For the initial this thing, it will be fully available. Later on, slowly its delivery will be reduced to the substantial extent. Okay, then when the renewable energy is introduced, what will happen? The consumers like commercial and the industrial consumers will not seek the power from the distribution or the generation, that is fossil based this thing. So they will be going out of the billing platform of distribution this thing. So the consumers, which are these consumers, commercial and industrial consumers, are regarded as the uh, cross-subsidized consumers. They provide the cross-subsidized subsidy to the agriculture and the residential consumers. And if they go from the billing platform to the renewable energy source, the cross-subsidization amount will not be available to the AG, and AG means agriculture consumers and the residential consumers. Thereby, the tariff of the agriculture and residential consumers will go up. See, the uh, distribution is at the pivot of the generation and transmission. If the financial position of the distribution utility gets disturbed, okay, then the survival of the GENCO and TRANSCO will also affected to that extent. I will explain this way. See, GENCO and TRANSCO, they are not supposed to recover the amount or their investment cost or operating cost or ENG cost from the consumers directly. They will recover that amount through the distribution utilities. Okay, and if the distribution utilities financial viability is getting lost because of the huge RE penetration, then the survival of the GENCO and TRANSCO will be affected in that direction. Okay, so it is very much required that the distribution utilities account sheet should be very strong in order to give the proper payment to the GENCO and TRANSCO. Okay. Then e-waste management. When we say that solar energy will be coming in lakhs of megawatt. Okay. It has got life of 25 years only. So after that, the e-waste management will be a big challenge, and the environmental star already warning to limit or to find out the solution for the e-waste management. Then when generation and distribution utilities will be having no role in generation, that is running the thermal power station, the employment generation in these two sectors will be reduced substantially. Now, these are the general challenges, but challenges specific to the generation, transmission, distribution I have discussed here. So, due to the huge penetration of RE power, the thermal power plants will have to either shut down or will have to back down. Okay. And for that, their operating cost will go up. Their PLF will get reduced substantially. Their cost of generation will go up, and the recovery of the capex, whatever capital expenditure they have incurred in building the generating plants, either through agency or at their own, their payment will be a big challenge because no PPA will be available with them. Okay. Then for the transmission, yes, the grid operating challenge will be a big Herculean task. So they need to ensure that the grid stability remains as stable as hitherto before. Okay. Then reliability. If the transmission network becomes, fragile, isn't it? Intermittently availability of the power or fault rate through capability. So we need to build the transmission network in such a way that even for a small faults like voltage dips or swells, caused by the faults, it should remain connected to the grid so that there will not be interruption in the power supply as far as the transmission network is concerned. For that, it is expected that artificial intelligence will help to address the issues of the transmission or the grid challenges. But for that, you need to create the data in such a way that it doesn't have any lapses, any incorrectness. Then only the AI can give the perfect solution. Okay. Then the cost of the transmission charges. If the RE power is consumed locally. Okay. So the infrastructure network, that the transmission network will remain idle, and therefore the transmission charges will go up. Example, now the rooftop solar has been, you see, almost become a fashion now. Everywhere, everybody is going for the rooftop solar. Thereby the local consumption is made through the local generation only. That is rooftop solar only. Okay. Vis-a-vis with the solarization of AG pumps, the power requirement of AG pumps in that area. So every AG pump is provided with the solar installation. Thereby but it has got, you see, advantages also. This local consumption, there will be no transmission losses and no distribution losses and no theft also, isn't it? So far the recovery of the capex that has been, you see, incurred by transmission company or transmission licensee, in absence of this one, the recovery of the capex will be a big challenge, and there will be paucity of funds for the future development also. Now coming to the distribution, the penetration of the cheaper RE power, yes, it will disturb the balance sheet of the distribution utility, and therefore the financial viability of the distribution will be at the stake. Okay. Then due to the migration of the subsidizing consumer, I already told this thing. So that will also affect the distribution financial position of this thing. Then recovery of the capex. Yes, recently around 40,000 crores of rupees, you see, plan in Maharashtra, and its recovery will be obviously through the tariff, isn't it? But if the cross-subsidizing consumers are going to the billing net, going out of the billing net of the distribution licensee, then the recovery of the capex will be a big challenge for the distribution, and there will be very less fund or no fund available for the distribution network development. Okay. Now, mitigation of the grid management challenges. Okay. So, we know what is the availability of the RE power, that is 2,42,000 megawatt as against the 5 lakh megawatt installed capacity, that is around 49%. Then in order to promote this energy storage system, the Ministry of Power has notified the policy also. So fund requirement will be quite huge, and the fund requirement for the project development is like a blood. That is, if the cash flow stops for any dam region, the pace of the project, you see, gets zero, or it is, you see, substantially reduced, leads to the time and cost overrun. So I have estimated when we achieve the net zero by 2070, these will be the job opportunities available in the renewable energy sector, electrical vehicles, PV manufacturing, photovoltaic cells manufacturing, then hydrogen, then energy storage system, then circular economy, that is the recycling of the plastic, etc. Then green buildings, yes, total, that is 80 lakhs of employment is expected with this net zero 2070. Okay. Now, how to achieve this 2070? Okay. So, a systematic training to the grid operators needs to be given, because the intermittency of the renewable energy will be increased manifolds, and it will be very difficult to handle the system within the permitted parameters of the this thing. Okay. Then weather forecasting. Yes, as far as the wind energy is concerned, the latest upgradation tools, forecasting tools must be available at the every station, every area, so that they can predict what next wind energy will be available and what amount of wind energy will be available, so that the load dispatch center will be equipped with this latest data to plan the economic dispatch and load scheduling. Okay. For that, WAMS area, that is wide area management system, must be strengthened. Okay, which determines the reactive power flow, active power flow, then the voltage dips, okay, leading to the collapse of the grid. So this WAMS area, that is wide area management system, which is also called the phasor measurement units, okay, need to be installed at every critical points, and the data of it needs to be meticulously analyzed, so that the grid parameters are not, you see, gone out of the hand or out of the control. Okay. So, but the foremost requirement of the wide area management system is the availability of the robust communication network. Okay. So this is the prime requirement, and slowly we are, you see, moving to this WAMs also, and also satellite communication also. Okay. Now, in Spain and Portugal, in the last April 2025, major outage was taken place in these two countries. So it is very much beneficial to learn that what was wrong was gone, leading to the collapse of the grid system in the Spain and Portugal. So based on that experience, we can take the remedial action, or we can train the grid operators. Okay. Then critical analysis of the outages must be done to reason out, aimed at avoiding the recurrence, that the fault should not be recurrent. Okay. For any damn reason, it should be meticulously analyzed, so that its recurrence will not happen in future. Okay. For that, one need to interact with the international communities on the outage management. Because they have already experienced that grid collapse or grid disturbance in Spain and Portugal. So it is there is a lot of to learn from these two countries as to how the grid collapse has taken place, and how they have restored also back that grid. Okay, to the normal position. Okay, so international interaction is very much required. Okay, then we need to ensure the adequate availability of the RE power, pumped hydro stations, then battery energy storage system, because uh, it is the experience tells that the gestation period of RE power, that is battery energy storage system, is very less as compared to the transmission network. And that transmission network or the evacuation arrangement must be with sufficient redundancy. Okay, it is not expected that all the 100% lines or substation will be available by that time. Something is taken out for routine maintenance, or something goes under fault, isn't it? So there, that capacity, installed capacity or available capacity is reduced substantially. So to meet that, regular demand, we need to have, redundancy in our system, maybe at substation end or line side also. Okay. So Japan is the best example. There, the redundancy level is N-2. Even they have gone for N-3 also. So the meaning thereby, if two sources are gone, two lines are gone, two substations are gone, two generations stations are gone, still the grid survives. So like that, of course, it requires huge investment. And this investment, sometimes recover the entire this thing whenever it is badly needed. Then a data bank, yes, it is very much required whenever the power outages happen. No, all the related data must be stored at one place, and it should be open to the person where they can meticulously analyze and reason out this thing. Okay. Then development of smart grid. Yes, it is the need of the hour that the grid should be smart enough to absorb the shocks of the intermittency of the renewable energy. Okay. Then for that, the robust communication network right now is available is the optic fiber. Then satellite must be efficiently. Not only, we should not limit not to the optic fiber, but satellite. New means of communication, okay, will be required to be developed in the near future, so that our dependency on the optic fiber and satellite will be substantially reduced. Okay, and its response will be also available in all odd events. Okay, then also we need to sensitize the people, okay, to the larger extent, that see, this is the intermittency available. You need to interact with the so many people. Then a lot of data will be required. You should have the availability of the capacity of the pump, hydro storage station, then when a battery energy storage system, so that you can plan the, you can balance the grid, that is load and demand, supply. You can plan it very well. Yes, the transmission line supports. Are you see bringing a challenge in building it? So it is obvious that the footprint of the tower must be reduced substantially, so that so that it will occupy less footprint, less land, and there will not be much loss to the farmers or the city. So with this way forward, I think you might have got the information, the statistical information, moreover, with regard to the net zero by 2070. Let us hope that India may achieve this net zero by 2070. But still, as an expert, I will say that by that time also, we need a thermal support in order to meet the base load. Thank you so much for your patience hearing. Kakade sir.
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I request all participants to post their queries, or you can directly ask the query. Unmute option is.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes,
Am I
yes.
audible?
Yes,
Sir,
you
I
are
just want
here.
to ask whatever we are aiming up to 2070,
Yeah.
whatever we are aiming 2070, that zero power energy, and that you are said also that thermal energy also we need to be utilized up to 2070. So
Yeah.
is it possible without hydropower generation, sir? Actually, now India is having only 3%, 2 to 3% of hydropower generation. So power is
Yeah.
we are in on that position. So is it possible up to 2070 to generate this kind of aiming we are considering? Is it
Uh,
possible, sir? Actually,
yes, yes, yes. I will address your query like this. See, we have got issue already water dams, you see, spread across the nation, isn't it? So the government had decided to build the pumped hydro power plants. You understand? Down below the dam, they are constructing a second dam. So in that, the water, while running the pump in the generation mode, the water will be stored in that down below dam, and in the off peak hours, okay, it will be stored back to the main dam. Okay, so during the night hours, whenever the requirement is there to take the support of the hydropower stations, it will be released. But I am still having doubt that whatever gap would be there by the year 2070, it will not be adequate support from the hydro stations. You got my point? Already in Maharashtra, around 5,000 of pump hydropower stations has been planned and work has been started at some places. But by that 2070, the power demand will be huge. Okay. And there, this support from the BSS and hydropower station will not be adequate. That's why I am, you see, talking since beginning on the so many platform that we need the thermal support to meet the base load, especially during the night hours. That is one thing. And secondly, we need to take the measures, that is the energy saving during the night hours. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that clear to you?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
Yes. As in our India, as hydropower generation power plant stations are not suitable for us for generating the
Yeah.
hydropower. Means that we need to be make like that. So that much of suitable stations we don't have. So that is also one biggest problem to generate hydropower in India too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
See, the water availability is amply available in the northeast region. Okay. There we have tried to build the hydropower station in those regions. But because of the land nature, see, in the South India, we have got the basalt rock, isn't it? So the stability of the power station is much, much higher than the stability at the northeastern region. That's why there, the power station are, you see, nowadays are at very risky now. During the last this landsliding, almost 3 power stations have, you see, stopped working.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, there is one more question in chat box from Jay Kumar Ramesh Gaikwad, sir. He's
Yeah.
asking, what
Please.
emerging technologies like hydrogen, carbon capture, energy storage, etc., are most crucial for achieving net zero?
Okay. See, the government of India, in order to achieve the target of the Paris Agreement, no, they have identified the areas, okay, in which they can work efficiently, systematically, and achieve that target. So main is the thermal power stations, okay, that is the stations. There they can replace the thermal power plants by renewable energy plants. Second one is the agriculture. Third one is the transportation. Transportation means the EV vehicles. Thereby, you can reduce the impact of the carbon emission. So these are the identified areas where they can focus and we can achieve. We may achieve, not I am not sure 100% we will achieve that because lots of, you see, resources, international policies, intricacies of the issues are, you see, being, you see, increased day by day. Let us say battery energy storage system, that lithium is not available easily in India. It is available in China only, concentrated in China only. So international treaties and other things play a major important role in making the availability. Gas, yes, we cannot think about the gas power station. Already the gas power station in the Enron area has been, you see, around 10 to 20% power generation is produced there because the gas is not cheaper. It is very costly affair for us. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, second question from Jaykumar, sir. What social safeguards are necessary to ensure an equitable transition for workers and consumers?
Pardon, please.
What social safeguards are necessary to ensure an equitable transitions for workers and consumers?
Workforce Act.
Workers and consumers.
Can you repeat the question? I am not getting
Yes. What social safeguards are necessary to ensure an equitable transition for workers and consumers?
Okay, okay,
And it
okay.
is available in chat box also.
Okay. See, I will go to this slide. Please carefully observe this slide. Okay. So to the left, it is the state contribution for the generation. Middle one is the private, and the central is this one, right? Isn't it? Here you will find that the generation around 2,60,000 megawatt is coming from private players only. Okay. With the liberalization policy, the role of the private player will be very, very dominant. Already through various regulations, various provisions, they have given boost to the private players. Okay. Their investment is, you see, given the red carpet treatment. Okay. So whenever the private players make the investment, they are least bothered about the social safeguard. They will lose the employment. They will lose the promotional avenues, promotion avenues. Okay. And unfortunately, in India, the power sector policies are, you see, mainly for the private players. Let
Yes.
us say parallel distribution licensing. It has been, you see, on the verge of issue introduction in Maharashtra. All the cream area will be given to the private players. So there will be, obviously, say the policy will remain on the paper, that they will say that we don't have any anti-reservation policy. But through private players, it will be having zero value.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So there is one more question. How
Sir.
can research projects or student initiative contributes to achieving net zero target locally?
Can you repeat it again?
How can research projects or student initiative contributes to achieving net zero target locally?
Yes. See, ma'am, there are also various areas where the research players can play a major role. Let us say we are knowing only the solar and wind power, right? Isn't it? Huh? These are the main renewable energy sources. There can be other. We need to find out. It is available in the nature. Second thing, you can have the research paper on as to how to reduce the footprint while laying the transmission lines. Then the substitute for the WAMS area. You can go for that. You can find out altogether different and economical solution for the robust communication. Then grid management system, smart grid. Okay. Right now we have got very limited options. That is the facts. That is flexible AC transmission systems. Then synchronous condensers, reactive power management. Beyond that, we can have solutions. We need to study it carefully. We need to go for the at the international level, get their experiences. See, this carbon emission, no, CO2 emission, was, you see, forecast by Joseph Fourier, who was the great French mathematician in the year 1825. And after that, we are, you see, facing in the 2020, around how many years? 700 years? No, 200 years. 2000 years, 200 years only, isn't it? 25 years. So like that, the orientation of the syllabus needs to be articulated like this so that it will give, you see, the conventional syllabus, if it doesn't serve any purpose now. It's my personal opinion. Yeah.
Being an autonomous institution now, we have already started drafting our new curriculum. And
Okay.
our viewers members has taken care that what is requirement. Say for example, in one of your slides, you mentioned the issues and challenges related to generation, transmission, and distribution. So
Yeah.
definitely we will include such points in the curriculum so that it will definitely fulfill our the project or what is our vision for the upcoming years. And being an teachers or being a researchers or being a professional practice, we can definitely integrate the learnings from your statistic what you have given to assign certain projects to students or assign certain research paper to the students.
See, ma'am, for the solar and wind power, no, you have got to see huge scope in improving the power delivery. Let us say when we started in India, no, the windmill capacity was just 125 kilowatt, one windmill, or 250 kilowatt. Now it has raised to the 4 megawatt at one location only.
Right.
So it has reduced the substantial footprint, isn't it?
Yes, sir, yes.
Land requirement also reduced. Like that solar, it is only relied that the solar will be available in daytime. You can have the alternate this thing, how the solar energy can be generated during the night hours also.
Correct, sir.
And research are going on in that direction.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now I request Munde ma'am to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Anita Vadde, madam. Thank you so much. Sir, that was indeed a thought-provoking start of the day. I, Dr. Surika Vishnuparamandi, co-coordinator of this faculty development program, take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. U.G. Salte, former executive director of Maharashtra State Electricity Transmission Company Limited.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt you. I am not executive director. I was director, board member. Above that.
Sorry, I will correct myself. Former director. Okay. Former director, Maharashtra State Electricity Transmission Company Limited. And former principal advisor to MSCB Holding Company Limited for accepting our invitation and delivering such a enlightening session on the topic Net Zero by 2070, preparedness, challenges and impacts on financial power utilities in India. Sir, your valuable insights on India's net zero roadmap and the readiness of our financial and power sectors have given us a realistic and optimistic understanding of the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Your deep industry perspectives truly help us connect policy vision with practical implementation. We are thankful for the time and effort you look to share your rich experience with us and for inspiring our participants to think critically about India's sustainable energy transition. A heartfelt thanks also goes to all the participants for your attentive engagement and thought-provoking questions. Thank you once again, Mr. Salte sir, for an inspiring and thought-enriching session. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.